For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
A major investigation is currently underway into the murder of a politician in Antigua and Barbuda. Also coming up in the broadcast, understand that there's been another resignation at the OKEU hospital. And certainly we have a lot more to share with you between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon right here on the most monitored talk show in the world. And that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. In a bit, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. So the folks over in Antigua and Barbuda at this time, to put it mildly, they're in some pain, some grief, some discomfort, and that is following the murder of a well-known Antigua and Barbuda politician, and that is independent MP Asset Michael, a former tourism minister of Antigua and Barbuda, once aligned to the Antigua Labour Party, and he fell out of favor with the Prime Minister and political leader of the ALP in a run-up to the last general election, and therefore he contested a seat there as an independent MP, and he remained an independent MP until his death. So Antigua and Barbuda has initiated one of its most significant murder investigations following the discovery of prominent MP Asset Michael's body early this morning, and Police Commissioner Atlee Rodney provided an update from the scene confirming the launch of a homicide investigation in response to injuries found on Michael's body. This is one of those sad moments we must address as investigators, Commissioner Rodney said, describing the early hours of the investigation. We received a call just after 8 a.m. from a member of Michael's household who found him unresponsive. Medical personnel confirmed his death shortly after our arrival, end of quote. The police commissioner emphasized the severity of the crime, noting that investigators observed injuries on Michael's body that warranted immediate classification as a homicide. The authorities are now working to determine the events that led to these injuries and the circumstances surrounding his death. A reporter from the Antigua and Barbuda Broadcasting Service, ABS, he was on the scene a few hours ago, and we have this report.
And thank you so much for joining ABS Television, ABS Radio, and our online platforms. My name is Garfield Burford, here with you for breaking news here. We've, of course, had this story on our online platforms this morning, and it is a story that Member of Parliament for St. Peter, Honourable Asset Michael, has been found dead in his house behind me. I'm here in Dry Hill, and there's a very somber scene here. Individuals on the scene trying to process what has happened. Behind me on the crime scene, inside his house now a crime scene, forensics officers are trying to piece together what exactly happened this morning. What do we know at this point? So we know that based on the information from the police, the initial information is that Mr. Michael was found in a pool of blood this morning. He was found by a member of the house, and well, a maid actually, and who found him in a pool of blood. We don't know what exactly happened. We don't know the circumstances at this point. That is a subject of a high-level investigation at this point. Forensics officers are inside the house now examining the scene, piecing together all the clues, and of course we'll be examining Mr. Michael's body as well to determine what exactly has happened. And right across, this entire scene, members of the press, neighbors, many individuals who would have known Mr. Michael are actually now on the scene again trying to piece together what exactly has happened. We'll be getting some reactions in a short while from individuals who are just coming to the scene, trying to find out what has happened this morning and trying to process the shock, because this has really sent shockwaves across the entire nation and beyond as well. We've actually received reports or received calls and inquiries from elsewhere in the region finding out, is that really what has happened? And yes, it is the news that has sent shockwaves and has really sent ripples of anguish across the nation as well, because there is that level of disbelief that individuals would remember that Mr. Michael was at the food fair and was at the Independence Parade on Friday of last week. He actually been, walking around and shaking hands with individuals. They remember that had happened, and that was the last time they saw him in a very public place. And now for this to have happened on this Tuesday morning, it is really, really difficult for many people to understand and to process at this point.
The anchor news director of ABS Television, that's Garfield Burford, reporting there on the murder of independent MP of that island, Mr. Asad Michael. And his lifeless body was found with marks of violence earlier today. Let's continue the broadcast with our own developments right here in St. Lucia, recording some 2 homicides between Sunday and Monday. And over in the Soufre, we have reports of an assault which led to the homicide of a 76-year-old identified as Dunstan Butcher, alias Jarrock of Bouton Soufre. That incident occurring again on Sunday, and a body with signs of violence found on Monday over in Chinatown, Marigot. And police went to the scene to retrieve the body, and investigations in both incidents are continuing. So far for this year, St. Lucia has recorded some 69 homicides, and I'm sure that this continues to be a source of immense concern for residents on the island. Likewise, the authorities, the police, in their quest to bring this under some level of control. We are also preoccupied with problems in the island's health sector, in particular what is happening now at the OKEU Hospital, the management of this, our main health institution, the constant concerns relating to the cost of operating this facility, and the resultant effect is that persons are not being provided with the quality of health care that they expect that would help them convalesce a lot quicker. And this has resulted in a number of people resigning, health professionals resigning from that health institution. My information is that the consultant pathologist, that's the consultant forensic pathologist at the OKEU Hospital, tendered her resignation sometime last month. And this is coming on the heels of a new Chief Executive Officer at the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, who is just 5 days on the job, and that is former Health Minister Dr. Damian Greaves. So a lot of concerns, a lot of problems with regard to our health sector. A lot of our wellness centers either partially operating or those have been closed because of certain remedial works that have to be undertaken at those health facilities, and therefore putting a lot of pressure on the likes of the Grosile Polyclinic as well as the OKEU Hospital. And we all know what obtains at the St. Jude Hospital over in the south of the island, operating under immense constraints and in terms of challenges not only for the patients there, but also for the staff at that institution. And so we continue to get more reaction, more concerns being expressed by many sections of the society, not only the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association and also the members of the public as well as the government, but also we've been hearing from the opposition. We'll be hearing from the Prime Minister in just a moment, because he has been saying that attempts are being made to find a permanent solution for the problems which have certainly plagued the OKEU Hospital over several years. But before that, let us hear from the Public Relations Officer of the Opposition, UWP, speaking earlier today, Mr. Leonard Spider Montoute.
We have a Minister of Health, Honorable Moses Shabatis, who is clueless as far as healthcare is concerned. And I say to you, the demise of our healthcare system has everything to do with poor administration, poor governance, lack of visioning, and poor planning. And so, as a result of this, we saw that the existing facilities deteriorate to the point that some have been closed, and those that remain open are undersupplied in terms of equipment and supplies, medical supplies that would be required for patients, as well as we see that the government has also created a situation that has discouraged our human resources at the hospitals and health centers, that we have our medical professionals leaving in droves. This leaves St. Lucia in a critical crisis. And I say so because even as important as education is, the missteps that are made with education, we can argue we can catch up later. Because there are those of us who left primary school years ago, barely functionally literate, but today we have gone back into the education system, educated ourselves, and some even have reached the level of having university degrees. Unfortunately, we do not have that privilege when it comes to healthcare, because what is happening now is catastrophic to the extent that the failures of the system results in the death of our citizens. And so for minor health issues, some people are losing their lives. That, I want to remind you, is irreversible, and that cannot be corrected down the road. Death is the ultimate. When you have passed, that is the end. And so, am I to think that our government is so callous, so inconsiderate, so uncaring, that even when it comes to the lives of our citizens in St. Lucia, that they don't give a hoot? I have heard the Prime Minister say that he endorses and fully supports his health minister. A health minister that has presided over the worst era in our healthcare system, some services. Our Medical and Dental Association indicated to us that what obtains today is the worst that they have ever experienced, the worst that they have ever seen in the history of this country. And you're going to say to me that you are satisfied with that? You're going to say to me that the responsibility that you're charged with to provide healthcare services to St. Lucians, you are just going to play politics as opposed to dealing with the situation to ameliorate the crisis that we are facing and to save lives in this country.
Speaking earlier today at a briefing of the United Workers' Party, the PRO, Mr. Leonard Spider-Motut. It was about 2 months ago we heard from the island's Prime Minister during a check presentation to the Millennium Heights Medical Complex of $15 million, where he addressed the health situation at that facility. And he expressed the hope that everything will be done as soon as possible to ensure that there is a permanent solution to the problems at the OKEU hospital.
Very shortly, I'm going to reveal to the country how we're going to hopefully, permanently, solve the financial issues that relate to healthcare in St. Lucia. And that's as far as my job is. That's what I can do. I'm the Minister of Finance, all I can do. I can do nothing else. I can't tell doctors what to do. I know about nothing. It's up to you now to work with your board and work with your colleagues to solve the health problems in this country under the guidance, the policy directions of the Minister of Health, who is not a doctor either. So that's all. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to try to solve the financing issues as they relate to health once and hopefully for all.
Hopefully and permanently. How much trust can you repose in the words of the Prime Minister when he says that hopefully, permanently, and he goes on to say, I know nothing. Now, you are a Prime Minister and you are there to manage the affairs of the country. You are there to find solutions to our many problems. But the Prime Minister painstakingly, quite often would say to you, whenever there's an increase in criminal activity on the island, that he is not a policeman. So you are there to manage. You're there to find solutions to our various problems. And so problems in health, he is not a medical doctor. But what are you doing managing our resources so that they can be properly utilized and effectively so, because the resources are meager, to ensure that our health institutions are operating in an efficient manner? That is your job, Mr. Prime Minister, to preside over the affairs of the country, irrespective of you not having the direct expertise in that area. That's what a good manager does, period. That's what he does. He's there to look at things holistically. Overall, I'm there to manage this particular institution. And I'm seeking to ensure that it runs efficiently. So look at it from the perspective of the country, St. Lucia. You're there to manage everything as far as, because you are the Prime Minister. The economy, tourism, agriculture, infrastructure. You're just there to manage everything, and then you have the subordinates. You have your ministers, you have your chief engineer, you have your PS in tourism, etc. But you are the helm. Stop saying that you don't have the expertise in the different areas. You ought to be, sir, an effective manager. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Tim. Good day.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you?
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, Tim. Since you're on the healthcare team, let me just ask you get some clarification from you. We've heard so many resignations from the OKU. Have we heard any changes in the board, the composition of the board?
No, I think the board is about to be revised, if memory serves me right. The board should have been revised either last month or it will be done this month. The tenure of the board will end either last month or this month.
So it ending.
Yeah, it's about to end.
Tim, isn't it strange that the amidst all of that, all the resignations, we've not heard no issue on the board? Because that was one of the recommendations in the letter.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors were very firm to indicate that the board has no idea what they're doing. And they had better just shape up or all of them get out. That was in one of the paragraphs in the letter, you know.
It was, yes.
And I have never heard the Minister of Health address the board or the Prime Minister. My information is that there are persons on that board, Tim, who doesn't have a clue. Anyway, let me ask you that thing. Because nowadays it looks like those boards run things, whether it's CIP board, City Council board, OKU board. Some persons find themselves on 4, 5, 6 boards, Tim. And the board members are they are nominated, they are handpicked by the politicians, right?
Yes, they are.
Do you know any specific qualifications somebody must have to be on the medical board?
Well, I'm not aware, but I know that they're there to provide guidance in terms of policy direction and so on. And then, the makeup would include people with various expertise. So you might have a medical doctor on the board. I think you have a Dr. Lucia who is on the board. You might have somebody whose background is in finance. You have another medical doctor on the board, Dr. Jean. So you have people with varying backgrounds, expertise and so on, who can provide the guidance so that that particular institution can operate in an efficient manner. So you need not have a board consisting only of people who have a background as far as healthcare is concerned or medicine.
Well, I wasn't just suggesting that thing, but since it was highlighted so clearly, because the doctors know the people on the board, that's why they claim what they claim. I didn't write the letter. The doctor wrote the letter, So whether you say you name 2 doctors there, I'm sure they are not the only qualified persons on the board. I know people on that board, Tim, that should not be there in my view. Those people have not managed anything. They can't even manage to get up in the morning. Tim, what I'm telling you there, I'm not saying that because I have any particular dislike for anybody on any board, But isn't it time? In fact, those boards should be public information, shouldn't it? The people on the various boards.
But it's not public information. The information can be accessed, sir.
Yeah, but Tim, you think it is easy to get? Because I tried finding out what's wrong with that board, when I read the letter. You think it's easy for people to name people in St. Lucia? So they know everything about.
So, for example, you have Joanna Raymond Atherton as the chairperson, Dr. Janice Stanley Jean, Dr. Kenneth Louisi, better known as Kimbo. You have one Dr. Kedem Dor. You have Mr. Perry Thomas and also Miss Jenny Daniel. And I think Miss Jenny Daniel is the PS in the Ministry of Health.
Okay, but Tim, what I was telling you, the doctors wrote had an issue with the board. They claim that the priority of the hospital is overshadowed by other things. The board is not considering the top priorities of the hospital at the time. That's why they have that problem.
There's any need for us to there's any need for us to argue that because we can't prove it. All right, that's a letter and a claim was made by the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association regarding the performance of the board. So I can't vouch for that.
So
sir.
we can't. You can't prove what, Tim?
I cannot.
We don't have to prove it. Tim, we don't have to prove anything. The president wrote, and we don't have to prove anything. The people who put the board in place have to do the investigation, not me and you.
What I'm telling you there.
So it's either the doctor was claiming a falsehood.
No, caller.
And the board is okay.
I think you're looking at the issue too myopically, right? The issue might be a lot more complex. No, it's not a laughing matter. I think it might be more complicated, sir, than the board. Right?
Well, tell the president that Tim.
It might be more complicated than just the board. And think about it intelligently, sir.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda, what is in the chat room? And good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Timothy. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. In the chat room, someone says, I wish I knew why it's so hard to find supporters of a political party not calling out the actions of their political party when they see it's necessary. Too many people have pledged their loyalty to their political party than to their country. No matter how nasty politics gets, some people will put their characters on the line in the name of the party. Another comment. Liz Cheney is a true example of country before party. I do hope that many of us St. Lucians, following the election or politics in the USA, will learn a thing or two from politicians like Liz Cheney. Another comment. So what's the total number of murders to date? By the way, when did Mary go get a Chinatown? Someone replied to this saying 69 was the last total mentioned today. Another comment, team, where is the crime prevention minister? What is he doing? Someone says, Musa, you can get a clue at the nearest hardware store. Another comment, the problem in the health sector change the problem in the health sector change Health Minister Ipabo. Another contribution, this is what happens when an organization expresses concern over what they are dealing with. It's a government minister dismissing them, then the PM saying he didn't hear.
And I just received the information that the tenure of the board ends on the 9th of this month, so within the next 4 days. The tenure of the board of the Millennium Heights Medical Complex will come to a conclusion.
Another contribution, accountability doesn't exist in PJP's world at all. Someone says, if PJP tells you good morning, please get a second opinion. Another contribution, why does he always speak in that tone which demonstrates anger? A NewsSpinner said, this prime minister is just so unbelievable. You are the commander-in-chief or the fifth, and you're saying that you're going to dish out monies to an establishment and that's all you can do. So you're not even going to investigate how the finances are being spent and on what it's spent on. So that's the reason why you're just giving out the CIP money and not knowing where and how it's being spent. The Minister of Housing must be happy. Another comment, preach team, how and when did things go bad? People like to remove himself from the responsibility of the job SMH. Another comment, PJP is a reflection of St. Lucians because we chose him as our prime minister. Someone says, Tim, can you tell me if hopefully and permanently can be used in the same sentence? Someone says, The board is just like our politicians, a scavenger today and a minister of health tomorrow. And if someone says any leader who isn't performing in his or her duties should do the right thing by getting someone who will perform. It's not about self, it's about the country. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. Some more updates coming up during the course of this afternoon's program. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls or messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message reads, Perry Thomas is a political appointee on the board. He has been on several appointments on several boards since PJP was elected. We have a call via WhatsApp as we say good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, Tim. I just have a comment. I would like to know what are the position of business that it is accepted for the leader to not know what they're doing, and like there is no removal of the person, there's no investigation of the person. It seems only the St. Lucian Prime Minister that can not know what he's doing, the people around him not know what they're doing. And when it comes to the education, when it comes to the health, the medical system, when it comes to the youth economy, when it comes to the economy in general, when it comes to crime and security, a lot of the things that comes, like you say, with the portfolio, he doesn't have any idea of how to run it. And we're many years into this administration leading, no development in the positive, and solutions are quiet.
Yeah.
There's nothing being done. So what other institution or business that you know of that these things can happen and there is no, I don't know, investigation, nothing, like it just continues?
Well, call it only in the world of politics, where there's lack of accountability, where somebody can determine that they are the Prime Minister, Minister with responsibility for job creation, the youth economy, etc., and they cannot account for it. Now, I'm not saying specifically the Prime Minister, but look at the Health Minister as well. He is responsible for health. He is underperforming. It is a disaster as far as the management of health is concerned, and yet still you have somebody who's coming to the fore to say that he is doing a very good job. Now, where's the evidence to prove that he's doing a very good job? In the private sector, this will not be tolerated. It is unacceptable. Because if you're not doing a good job, if you are underperforming, what will happen is that the board of directors will say, you're causing us to lose money, you are affecting the brand, and therefore you cannot continue to hold on to your job. So it's only in politics that there's a lack of accountability, and people do not make the right assessment. Who's making the right assessment are the hacks, and those people determine whether they remain on the job or not, because you have to wait at least when general elections are called to determine whether you're going to re-elect or reappoint those individuals. That is the state of affairs as far as what obtains in the private sector and what obtains when you are a government minister or part of a cabinet.
Thank you. I agree. I just have one comment for the youth of St. Lucia, those that are about to leave secondary, those in the community college and the young adults, that we start to prioritize our needs. They need to have a voice in what is happening, have a visibility. I think the youth of St. Lucia are a little too docile with their future. Like, a lot of things are happening that will affect us 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and it will be their children that will be influenced by what is happening right now. Like, I don't think we should wait on the adults anymore to be going out or speaking. We should read the policies that are taking place on our behalf. We should read what is affecting us. That's my contribution, Tim. Thank you.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Let's continue with your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and, of course, our discussion. Let me see if I have a WhatsApp message to go through. Tim, I heard you read a letter yesterday about the post office. I have been using this service for about 5 to 6 years, and has been nothing short of the best. Of late, changes have been made to the post office with no consideration to the customers that have supported and marketed the service over the years. The warmth and love I felt is no more. The attitude of some of the new staff in the section leaves a lot to be desired, and I support the words of the writer. It has become so frustrating that I have decided to move to another shipping company. The powers that be need to intervene in this and not stick their head in the sand. Thank you. All right, let's see there. If we have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through, somebody says there, PJP, the most readied Prime Minister, a laughing stock of fame. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Still to come, we have some more information to share with you, and we will continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbutai at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex Customer Service Office in Castries is now open for business, but we've moved. We're now located on Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci on the ground floor of the new Carilac building. We're open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out our online options first. But if you do need to come in to see us, we'll be pleased to serve you with new connections, bill queries, payments, and other service requests. Lucilex Sanssouci office, ground floor of the Carilac building. New location, same great service.
St. Lucia, get ready for the ultimate flavor explosion at KFC. Introducing the new bacon melt sandwich. That's right, the crispy, juicy KFC chicken you love, topped with melted cheese, crispy bacon, and your choice of mayo or barbecue sauce, all nestled in a soft sesame seed bun.
Your taste buds ready, come and try KFC's new bacon melt sandwich is great, no lie. Crispy chicken, bacon, cheese, flavor certified with mayo or barbecue. Anyone you must try. For just $25, get this combo deal. Fries and a drink, it's a steal. Head to KFC, cause you don't wanna miss a bacon melt sandwich. Have it on your list.
Available at all KFC locations island-wide. WhatsApp 484-0400 or visit kfcslu.com for delivery and more.
For it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. It's keeping you connected.
It is well known by all St. Lucian professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns, all at unbeatable jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massad Grosile. Europa, we service what we sell.
Ministre qui a responsabilité pour santé qui a offert un service neuf en bas programme Universal Health Coverage là. Service ça là, c'est pour femmes faire test pap smear pour aider à adresser problème cancer en matrice. Service nouveau pap smear ça là, plus confortable et plus facile. Nous commandons pour toute femme pour l'avantage service ça là et aller en wellness center en Communio pour apprendre plus à sous sa clinique pap smear ça là qu'a offert. Ada une semaine seulement ou quand je viens résultat l'examen pap smear et si vous trouvez bagay pas normal et ben là ni cancer ou quand tu peux examiner encore du bon en semaine la ni examination pour HPV 16 et HPV 18 qui ça en est cause cancer en matrice si résultat test la pas normal ou quand je viens un appointment vitement pour traitement et là ou quand je viens plus information à sous maladie et guérison. Nous commandons toute femme pour prendre l'avantage service neuf sala pour adresser problème cancer. Et UHC, santé ou c'est l'antewino. Pour plus d'informations, téléphonez 468 5300 et bien 468 5328.
Why travel abroad for an MRI scan when you can access world-class medical technology right here in St. Lucia? At La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring cutting-edge technology to your doorstep with our state-of-the-art GE-accredited 1.5 Tesla MRI machine. Our advanced imaging services let you see the unseen, providing crystal clear scans that deliver unmatched accuracy for a comprehensive look at your health. Save time, save money, prioritize your health. No more costly trips overseas. Get the highest quality MRI scans locally and take control of your health with the option of a second opinion. You deserve that peace of mind. Our skilled specialists are here to guide you every step of the way, whether it's nerve disorders, chronic headaches, spinal injury, or stroke recovery. We offer expert consultation and personalized care all under one roof. And don't miss out on our special discounts. Ask about our reduced rates on MRIs, ultrasounds, and consultations at our convenient locations in Castries and Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Book your appointment today. Call La Clinique de Corps at 451-6559 and experience imaging excellence without leaving the island. Your health deserves the best. Let us help you see it.
Attention homeowners. Are you ready to transform your space this holiday season? Don't miss out on the Tile Gallery Incredible Jingle Tile Sale, happening now through October 31st. For a limited time, save up to 50% off on a stunning selection of tiles only at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're upgrading your kitchen, bathroom, or outdoor, we have the perfect style for you. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Visit us today and elevate your home with beautiful tiles at unbeatable prices at the Jingle Tile Sale. The Tile Gallery is located at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt stores. Terms and conditions may apply. See in store.
At Caribbean Pastors Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastors Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastors Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastors Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
Black Hat Football, the People's Tournament, intensifies after an accelerated leg of first-round matches. Now, the battle lines have been drawn, and it's time for the quarterfinals. On Wednesday, November 6, Red Hot Boys from Masher will face the mighty VA4 South from 7 p.m. And from 9 p.m., another big one. West Coast champions Ancillary versus South Castries. The winners will advance to the semi-finals on Friday, November 8, where the big teams meet. Also featuring live in St. Lucia for the first time ever from New York Country, Dominica. It's Kwan and Little Boy live at the Sufra Mini Stadium for only $25. Get ready for Kwan and Little Boy on Friday, November 8th. Join the fun and excitement at the Sufra Mini Stadium. Who will win and who will be crowned 2024 Black Hat champions? Black Hat Football. Shoot goals, not bullets.
is the most monitored talk show in the world, and right here in Castries, St. Lucia, we're monitoring the presidential elections, and that is between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. The polls are open in all 50 U.S. states, with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris vying to become the next president. Harris has advocated for abortion rights and pledged to lower food and housing costs for working families. Trump, on the other hand, has vowed to seal the border and has proposed tax cuts worth trillions. Americans aren't just choosing the president, they are also picking members of the U.S. Congress, and some states are voting on abortion rights. More than 82 million people voted before Election Day, and polls suggest the race for the White House is neck and neck. And according to the BBC, it could take days or it could be soon after polls close that the results will be known. So the world is watching that presidential election currently underway in the United States. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. In just a moment, we'll be hearing from an individual reacting to the voting that is currently underway in the U.S. So in the meantime, allow me to go through some of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, in all my life on earth, I've never seen St. Lucia in a very bad economic state. Thanks to the Labour Party, it's time for St. Lucians to vote them out for good. Another WhatsApp message, and it reads, in my opinion, the board should consist of one accountant, 3 medical doctors, a financial director, an HR manager, and a trustee. And referring there that board the person is referencing is the Millennium Heights, the board of the Millennium Heights Medical Complex. And let me see if I have some more of your messages. Somebody says there, our Prime Minister is a real JA, sorry for want of a better word. Everyone knows he is not a doctor, a policeman, an engineer, etc. But he is a poor leader. Another comment, Tim, did the Prime Minister just say that? Therefore, is using the doctors as the scapegoat for the failures. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. See it, Tim? That's a little black boy joker Prime Minister that just spoke there. Awa. Boy, we're really paying for something. Just going through your WhatsApp messages. Prime Minister, my 4-year-old daughter is asking you to remove yourself from the affairs of St. Lucia because you know nothing. You are simply a DD. Okay. Let's see if we can take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon to you,
Tim, boy, every now and again, I find myself up against the wall. What the hell are we going to do? I just spoke to a doctor a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use the name on this occasion, but you can well guess who it was, because his name comes up a lot. And in the course of my conversation with him and putting heat on him, the doctor said to me, Rick, I've been doing this for years and fighting for this for years with no real results, except that people cuss you up. One political party calls you this and that. You're threatened, all kinds of stuff. So he has decided he's going to do the best with the things he can do and just forget about wasting his time on things that depend on others to do. Do you understand that, Tim?
He's acting out of frustration. But
there is a thing, the religious people will know what that is. Francis of Assisi, who said something to the effect, give me the strength to change the things I can change, and whatever it is to accept what I cannot change, something like that. There's some religious line like that.
Yeah.
So what the guy is saying is, for years and years and years, I have been recommending these changes. I have been underscoring this, and no government is prepared to do anything about it. No government. He's talking about all the the administrations. They do nothing about it. And he says the average person does not have the right questions to ask him.
Yes.
For example, if you were to ask, what does a board do at OKU? What exactly are they expected to do? How many people who are calling you right now would be able to give you a straight answer on that?
And a lot of people don't even know the composition of the board.
Exactly. That's what I was going to do next. Now, so I asked you the question, how can we usefully talk about the conditions and whatever at our hospitals if we don't know the most basic things about the hospital, Tim? Like I'm told, for example, that was a kind of speculative figure because they couldn't remember the exact figure. But the point is this. The demand to run the hospital is about 110 million a year. But what they get is more like 6 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, Tim?
So that is why I was saying to one of my callers, yes, you want to target the board, but that might not be the only or the main problem.
Targeting the board is convenience because the board is there largely because of the government. The government or whatever government is there has a lot to do with the board that's there. Okay? The government isn't, don't fool yourself. We don't have any independent government areas where governments are supposed to leave independent bodies. Anybody who believes that is an idiot. No government in St. Lucia, no government leaves those departments, when they call them, alone. In one way or another, they are affected. And now we are talking about life and death, Jim. So we can play games with the politics on that if we want to, but it's a lot more serious than politics. Life and death. I am told by another source that one of the bigger problems of the hospital faces is emergency cases. People, the stabbings, the shootings, the batterings, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were set up. The hospital is set up for about 60, and they get over 100 cases. So the maximum the case they're set up for to deal with at any one time is 60, and usually they have to deal in excess of 140. So
the health
question is
the health institution is overwhelmed, and therefore it needs
it
needs more resources.
Overwhelmed in every regard. Now, Tim, we also have to keep in mind, because if what we really want to do is talk solutions, we have to talk the possible solutions, and then we have to jump on those who are supposed to bring about those solutions. But if we're just talking, what are we talking about? Tim, you remember the time when Victoria Hospital started, they were forced to start charging people a small sum. Remember that?
Yes, I remember.
And of course, they could not very well turn people away who obviously needed attention. So they started after a while taking a chance on them that they will pay later. I think you know what happened there. The hospital went bankrupt almost.
It did.
And exactly. Even Tapio, I have had to deal with Tapio in the time when I wrote the first articles on Tapio, and I've always been very close to Tapio. And I've had Dr. Didier was a very good friend of mine, the main man of Tapio. And we talked business, and we talked about running a hospital and so on and so on. Same thing there, Tim. People will tell you that the doctors and the hospital are horrible, that a person is sick, and they want you to pay first. Well, boy, that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. There is no... I mean, I am wishing that we could offer free health care in the country, Tim.
Which begs the question, Rick. If we have been experiencing those challenges for so long now, with regard to the running of the Victoria Hospital and now EU Hospital, we know of the cost, the significant cost involved in operating those institutions.
Now?
No, I think my big issue is that why haven't we found a solution to finance it? Because there's been various proposals. There's been various proposals, but nobody's not doing anything about it in terms of implementing them.
Well, I don't know about the proposals. I have phone calls and so on. But this doctor told me also to agree with you that you make the proposals for solutions, and if they don't meet with the politics of the party, it goes nowhere. So that is a factor as well. So let's not dismiss that. That is a factor as well. But the consequences of playing that kind of politics is death. People are dying from neglect. It amounts to neglect. Whether that neglect is deliberate or not, it amounts to neglect,
That's what it is.
Because, yeah, and we also demanding more hospitals, as if more hospitals will begin to solve the problem when we cannot afford one hospital running properly. And I keep repeating, there's a 1940-something report called the Moyne Report done on St. Lucia. And the report states that St. Lucia and islands like St. Lucia will never be able to operate hospitals in the true sense of hospitals. And so that's what 1940-something. So they envisaged that from back then, and they were putting a lot of emphasis that the schools should teach kids how to eat properly, preventive things, you know what I'm saying? But the important thing is, as far back as that, there were people bright enough to have envisaged that as we go along and more people come along, the population increases and so on, it's going to be almost impossible to run one hospital, let alone 3 and 4. So, and the other thing too is the silence. Like guys like Musa will come on there and talk as if there's no problem with the hospital at all, instead of spelling out the horror story that is in fact running a hospital in St. Lucia.
That's the whole Ministry of Truth that the Prime Minister is making reference to, eh?
Yeah, but again, that is the political thing to do. They haven't got the money, or they spend money. That's another thing. They will say they have no money, but you'll hear them giving away millions and giving away this to that, and that with no accountability for it. You hear all kinds of things going on in terms of corruption and no investigation. Corruption costs a lot of money, Tim. Corruption costs the taxpayer a lot of money. So there are a lot of things that we could be doing to help ourselves, like doing our best to cut down on corruption, doing our best to have more accountability. I say more accountability. In fact, we have no accountability at all. A lot of the things that contribute to our inability to run any department in this country, any institution properly. So when we complain that I came there, I didn't get a chair, this is the immediate patient's problem. But there are bigger problems, much bigger than you came there and couldn't get attention. See what I'm saying? And if we don't address those problems, regardless of who is in office, it's waste of time. So I sit there and I listen to this thing. I say, boy, what a country, what a state we find ourselves in. We are not interested in accountability. And accountability is not just at the hospital. The lack of accountability that is evident in the hospital is everywhere else, Tim. And you cannot trust anything the politicians tell you, because what the politicians are telling you are to their benefit first and foremost.
Yeah.
All governments put the people first. But the question is, which people? Are you talking about the people in the mirror?
But politicians don't understand that they have a fiduciary responsibility. We repose our trust in them, that they will do the right thing for our benefit.
Well, by now we know that stupid at this point. We know that we have to take action, regardless what our government is in office, that will bring about at least a safer existence for people, not only for disease and whatever, but for the police protection, etc. We don't. We think that we call the show. It's good to call the show. It's good to vent, and it's good for the politicians to hear how people are thinking, and they might move because they will be worried about voting and whatever. But the politicians also believe that all they have to do come election time is spread a few dollars around him.
Yeah.
And it has worked. It has worked every time it has worked. So we are our own worst enemies. I'm not seeking to be popular in St. Lucia, so screw those who don't like that, those facts I've just stated there, and let's debate it. Maybe you can have a show, we debate the things I've said there against somebody who has a different idea. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right, thank you so much, Rick. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room. Let's go over to Amanda.
Tim comments from earlier in the chat room. Someone says, tell SLP administration go pay their hospital debts, please, and save St. Lucia. Another comment, Mr. PM, since you keep on saying things like, I'm not a policeman, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a farmer, I'm not a contractor, when will you realize that you're not a prime minister and just call an election? Another comment, St. Lucians must stand against them like the Martinique doing now. Another comment, St. Lucia has a government, prime minister and ministers that talks but cannot give the St. Lucian support. What a shame. Someone says, tell SLP administration go pay their hospital debts. Oh, I read that one already, sorry. Someone replied to that comment saying, hope you heard that the Prime Minister said that some of the monies have been paid. Would you care to ask the PM how much was paid back and what's the remaining balance? Then again, the PM might say that he's not an accountant because he's always coming out and give half-truth together with I don't know. Another comment, the CIP money given to the Rastaman could have made a good dent on those debts. Another contribution, the housing minister can help with the rest of $10 million after building the 3 little huts. Another comment, ask PJP to make the documents he has on desk available with reference to the vaccine money. It's over a month since he returned from New York. Another comment, St. Lucians are quiet because they are tired of hearing y'all complaining. Simple. St. Lucians not stupid. Everyone has already realized your tricks day by day. Another comment, let us all look at the way the inactions and actions of the current government is affecting our lives. Write them down in point form, then we will see the reasons for demonstrations against this government. Someone says, PJP is an embarrassment to this country. For God's sake, speak like a leader when addressing the press. It's so painful to listen to this man speak. Another contribution, the people who are saying Musa is doing a good job are so hot. Doctors, nurses, and other health personnel resigning en masse because of lack of equipment, supplies, etc. at our health facilities, and you want to tell me the minister doing a good job? This statement is an attempt to save a face, to protect the victory. Another comment, team, you are doing an excellent job. You deserve an increase in salary. As for the minister, the doctors have said it all. Lol. In recent comments, someone says, Philip J. Pierre is a replica of Donald Trump, both inept, incompetent leaders who cannot disappoint because both told and showed everyone their character before running for office, so blame us for allowing ourselves to be hoodwinked into voting for them. Our fault. Another comment, no Rick, Shas had a plan for healthcare and the Labours lied to the people. Shas knew that these things were not good hair. Another comment, so true Rick, even if they bring St. Jude, it will not help because they cannot run one hospital. You think they can too. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. WhatsApp message, Dr. King has been right for years, particularly when it comes to wastage concerning healthcare. Water running non-stop until maintenance comes in 2 months, all kinds of things. He has been right. Government can save more money to put into the system. Let us hear now from Mr. Aaron Alexander, commenting on the ongoing presidential elections in the United States.
Aaron Alexander, concerned citizen and community activist. As St. Lucia, along with other countries all over the world, are keenly observing the American elections today, each one supportive of one or the other candidate, vying to become the next U.S. president, and others like myself, not supportive of one or the other. Nonetheless, I would like to share a few thoughts on our own domestic political situation. We here in St. Lucia can say, since the last general elections, this St. Lucia Labour Party government have set out on an ambitious task of improving the lives of our own people on different levels. And truth be told, they have done that to a large extent. From minimum wage to increased payment to pensioners, support given to police to combat crime, reinstatement of the distress fund, the subvention back to the National Trust, removal of VAT on building materials, back to school support inclusive of laptops to children, just to name a few. Nonetheless, they are not perfect. Perfection is not in humanity. There is no perfection in humanity. But however, we must continue working to attain that perfection, which remains or which seems to remain a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. During the last elections, one of the hot button issues was having a fixed date for our general elections here in St. Lucia. It is with this in mind, I am calling on the Prime Minister to use his majority in Parliament to give us this most precious gift. Bearing in mind that the last administration used the announcement of an election date as a dangling carrot in our faces, and we said never again. This situation again caused all St. Lucians to demand that there be a fixed date for general elections in St. Lucia, whether it be by constitutional amendment or statutory declaration. But Mr. Prime Minister, you need to do this, my brother. Just like in the USA, elections are constitutionally due the Tuesday after the first Monday in November every 4 years. We can do the same, but only it will be every 5 years. Thank you for your kind attention.
From Mr. Aaron Alexander, describing himself as a concerned citizen. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin. Still to come, the police, they have embarked upon a task, and that is to rid our various communities of derelict vehicles.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
St. Lucia, get ready for the ultimate flavor explosion at KFC. Introducing the new bacon melt sandwich. That's right, the crispy, juicy KFC chicken you love, topped with melted cheese, crispy bacon, and your choice of mayo or barbecue sauce, all nestled in a soft sesame seed bun.
Your taste buds ready, come and try KFC's new bacon melt sandwich is great, no lie. Crispy chicken, bacon, cheese flavor certified with mayo or barbecue, anyone you must try. For just $25, get this combo deal. Fries and a drink, it's a steal. Head to KFC, cause you don't wanna miss a bacon melt sandwich, have it on your list.
Available at all KFC locations island-wide. WhatsApp 484-0400 or visit kfcslu.com for delivery and more.
Get your home holiday ready with unbeatable savings at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt. Enjoy pre-Christmas savings of up to 50% off on selected Christmas items this season. Transform your space and make your home shine. Everything you need is here. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt pre-Christmas sale is happening now. Shop early and save big. Your holiday home improvement starts now.
It is well known by all St. Lucian professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns, all at unbeatable jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massat Grosile. Europa, we service what we sell.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, continues to provide more for pregnant women in St. Lucia. Through maternal and child health services under universal health coverage, pregnant women will receive laboratory and ultrasound services through community wellness centers island-wide at no cost. From care during and after pregnancy, vaccinations, family planning to nutritional and mental health counseling, we are here to support you. Take advantage of our weekly services at no cost. And from 1st June 2023, the addition of laboratory and ultrasound services will ease the pressure to aid healthier and safer delivery for you and your baby. Visit your nearest wellness center to register for universal health coverage. For more information, call 468-5300 or 468-5328.
Why travel abroad for an MRI scan when you can access world-class medical technology right here in St. Lucia? At La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring cutting-edge technology to your doorstep with our state-of-the-art GE-accredited 1.5 Tesla MRI machine. Our advanced imaging services let you see the unseen, providing crystal clear scans that deliver unmatched accuracy for a comprehensive look at your health. Save time, save money, prioritize your health. No more costly trips overseas. Get the highest quality MRI scans locally and take control of your health with the option of a second opinion. You deserve that peace of mind. Our skilled specialists are here to guide you every step of the way. Whether it's nerve disorders, chronic headaches, spinal injury, or stroke recovery, we offer expert consultation and personalized care all under one roof. And don't miss out on our special discounts. Ask about our reduced rates on MRIs, ultrasounds, and consultations at our convenient locations in Castries and Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Book your appointment today. Call La Clinique de Corps at 451-6559 and experience imaging excellence without leaving the island. Your health deserves the best. Let us help you see it.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastures Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready-mix, cast-in sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastures Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastures Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
Black Hat Football, the People's Tournament, intensifies after an exhilarating leg of first-round matches. Now, the battle lines have been drawn, and it's time for the quarterfinals. On Wednesday, November 6th, Red Hot Boys from Masher will face the mighty VFO South from 7 p.m. And from 9 p.m., another big one. West Coast champions Ancillary versus South Castries. The winners will advance to the semi-finals on Friday, November 8th, where the big teams meet. Also featuring live in St. Lucia for the first time ever from New York Country, Dominica. It's Kwan and Little Boy live at the Sufra Mini Stadium for only $25. Get ready for Kwan and Little Boy on Friday, November 8th. Join the fun and excitement at the Sufra Mini Stadium. Who will win and who will be crowned 2024 Black Hat champions? Black Hat Football. Shoot goals, not bullets.
The Community Policing Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, along with the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority, will engage in an exercise to remove derelict vehicles from various areas across the island, commencing Monday, November 4th, 2024. An increasing number of derelict vehicles have been observed along our roadways, posing obstructions to pedestrian and vehicular traffic. These may also have the Community Policing Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, along with the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority, will engage in an exercise to remove derelict vehicles from various areas across the island commencing Monday, November 4th, 2024. An increasing number of derelict vehicles have been observed along our roadways, posing obstruction to pedestrian and vehicular traffic. These may also have
experiencing some challenges with this video or clip from the police, but the message is clear that the police they embark on a particular program as of yesterday, and that is to clear the streets, various communities of derelict vehicles. 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, that's 716-2026. Let me see there. Somebody says there, what Aaron forgot to say is this is the most corrupt government ever in the history of St. Lucia. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, Tim, Alexander already get paid. That's why he's been very careful. Another WhatsApp message. People are very brutal, you know. Tim, tell Aaron to hold his da-da-da. It's because of people like Mitt, even Dr. King, and all the other concerned citizens, especially those in V4, that we are in the mess we are in today. The only thing I agree with him, there is the fixed date for elections. Other than that, it's pure rubbish. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
I agree with him.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Hello?
Good afternoon. You are on the air. This is NewsSpin.
Yes, good afternoon, team. Thanks for the job that you're doing in allowing people to share their views.
You're welcome, sir.
But St. Lucia's crisis and situation can be analyzed with two words: capacity versus resources. We have capacity in terms of 3 hospitals. Let us use this as an example. But do we have the resources to manage those hospitals efficiently? Have we done an analysis of what the resources are? And you pointed out a short while ago the cost of running one of those hospitals and the actual revenue that will be generated from visitors, patients, etc. Now, in order for us to develop our resources to take care of the capacity, there will be the need to expand and diversify the economy as quickly as possible. So you're going to reduce on unemployment. And when I mean unemployment, I'm not referring to getting jobs at minimum wages. We need to create jobs that are high-end, high-paying jobs if we are going to boast about having a highly trained and talented youth on this country. We also have to embrace the fact that this is the situation: resources versus capacity. The country at this point in time does not have the resources. Now, we could look at the management of the country, the governance, from an operation and supply chain management. Do we need 3 hospitals on 238 square miles? Do we need health centers in every community or wellness centers? Can we introduce a new form of transportation, a new form of reaching people without going into those expensive concrete buildings? So there's a need to rethink the way the country is being run. There's a need to reorganize how we are organized at this point in time. And if we continue with this trend, we will find that the solutions that are being applied are actually worse than the problems. You are going to add a 5th arm to OKEU when you cannot manage 4, when you cannot open St. Jude's Hospital. And I believe St. Jude's has been kept closed deliberately because neither the country cannot afford to run St. Jude's Hospital efficiently. Thank you for your time and great job, sir.
I appreciate your contribution, sir. I think it's a very sensible contribution that you made there because we've been basically grappling, as far as healthcare is concerned, with the same issues over a very long time. Yes, we have the resources in terms of the various hospitals and so on, but whether we can finance those health institutions so that they can operate in an efficient manner. And we have not been able to do that. So just to piggyback on what you just said there, it is passing strange that if you have people who are managing various sectors in St. Lucia, including the government, why hasn't there been a serious assessment, make a serious assessment, analyze the problem, and then find out what solutions basically that you can utilize to deal with those problems? Because by ignoring those problems does not mean that they will just evaporate. They'll just disappear. That is clearly not the case. And I think that's what we've been doing over several years now as far as healthcare is concerned. We have been ignoring the problem and hoping that it will be fixed on its own. According to the French, ça pas possible. What is in the chat room, Amanda?
So, team, a comment I found really funny. Someone replied to Rick's comment saying, okay, so the comment reads, Dear Rick Wayne, we love the corruption. Oh, yes. All fierce party supporters who would die for their party love the corruption. Big dollars, big dollars. People fiercely supported their parties in hope of rich rewards when the parties come to office. I speak both Flubos and Labours. Continuing in the comment section, someone says, crazy thing is the SLP supporters see everything good and well in St. Lucia. Another comment, first time for me agreeing with a statement by Aaron Alexander. Another comment, these are the people who wanted Charles to be perfect. Now he's saying perfection is not in humanity. Another contribution, team, they paid mate to talk nonsense. He's one of them feeding off with the government while St. Lucia suffering in silence. Ask Aaron how much was the check he received from Hele last month. Another contribution.
Actually, the check was from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and not from Hele.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another comment, he forgot to mention the 2.5% levy PEEP put on our head, the prices of gas. Another comment, the UWP has mounted a campaign of lies that kept hitting them straight in their face. The lasted no sports in school is a perfect example that was debunked immediately. They are complaining while St. Lucians are still celebrating the success of the Yearhammer Sunfest. Someone replied to this saying, which lies? All the UWP is doing is debunk the lies people like you was sweeping during the last elections. The chickens have come home to roost. Another comment, I am happy to know that first place to target is the road leading to the Leon Hare School. That's it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much. And I get in the sense that Mr. Technical Producer Amanda is getting very comfortable. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How about you?
Fine, thank you. Tim, I just listened to your call earlier. And, you know, he spoke of resources. Tim, this government has been in office for 3 years. They have had the time to do the necessary assessments and to determine what it costs to run the government, what it costs to run the Department of Health. They would have done so before they implemented the 2.5% health and security levy. That levy was imposed specifically to raise funds to enable the government to run the healthcare system in St. Lucia. So this thing about not sufficient resources, which may be a case, but we also have to consider the management of the resources by the government, the prioritization of the various elements of government. We seem to find $80 million to fix the Darren Sammy Sports Stadium for 3 games, and to fix, I think, the main Philip Park, the Marsha and Grosley playing fields, where we were given no details as to the... Sorry?
Yes, continue, Colin. Yes, go ahead.
So, yeah, there was, sorry, where we were given no details as to the actual specific cost of any of those projects. Okay? And here we are, our healthcare, the health of the people is the wealth of the nation. And we cannot find monies to open up our health centers, to provide the necessary resources, medication, and expert personnel in our healthcare facilities. This is a total breakdown and a total crisis in terms of this government and being able to prioritize what is important and what is of secondary importance. Is the repairing and the painting of the Bam Bam wall more important than providing Panadols and plasters and bandages in our health centers, in our hospitals? More important than providing beds? More important than providing good working conditions so that our health professionals will be motivated to remain in our system? We are seeing an exodus, a total resignation en masse of our professionals. The Minister of Health is not a doctor. We don't need a doctor to manage the health care. But if that's what we need, then we need to get rid of the Minister of Health. The Prime Minister, it's pathetic. People run organizations, and the manager is not a secretary, but he's responsible for the secretary. He's responsible for the janitor. He's responsible for the financial controller. He's responsible for the operations manager, etc., etc. And this Prime Minister is abdicating his responsibility and providing us pathetic excuses in a manner to confuse the people and to set the people against each other on a tribal political basis, because people run to defend their tribe. So right now, what the Prime Minister needs to do, he needs to tell us, St. Lucians, it's going to cost $100 million to run this health system. We are only now able to raise $60 million. And then we will point out there are certain areas of wastage in various other sections or sectors of the government where monies can be saved in different areas and reallocated and prioritized for healthcare. Healthcare is our priority. Our security is our priority. Tim, we're on course to exceed the record set last year for murders. Yet we are accepting the excuse of the Prime Minister that he is not a police officer. We have, for too long in St. Lucia, made it a norm to accept mediocrity from the people that we pay and give so much responsibility. And this should end in St. Lucia. And this Prime Minister, this statement that he made in that press conference by turning over all the responsibility to the health professionals at the OKEU is the exact same reason, running away from the situation, the exact same reason why our healthcare professionals are abandoning this country and looking for greener pastures abroad. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. And let us hear from the Prime Minister again, speaking some 2 months ago when he again reminded by extension, the people of St. Lucia that he is not a doctor.
And the Minister of Health calls me every morning and tells me that he hasn't slept when he thinks of the issues as they relate to health. So I said to him, I can't help him because I'm not a doctor. I never professed to be a doctor. I have a cousin that's a doctor. I have a second cousin that's a doctor. But me, I never professed to be a doctor. And the Minister of Health calls me every morning and tells me that he hasn't slept when he thinks of the issues as they relate to health. So I said to him, I can't help him because I'm not a doctor. I never professed to be a doctor. I have a cousin that's a doctor. I have a second cousin that's a doctor. But me, I never professed to be a doctor.
4522979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says via WhatsApp, just bear with me when I try to get this. Somebody, the comment, Tim, the decision of this government is what's wrong. St. Lucia, why couldn't we give Julian $500,000 and keep $500,000 and still have sports? Another WhatsApp message. I'd really like to know the amount that the new building of the marketing board is costing St. Lucia. Is it true that those on the building umbrellas are costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars? Just a question. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, money talks and Aaron walks. For sale of country, sad, good day, Tim. And another WhatsApp message, trying to access as many messages as possible as we're getting all set to conclude our broadcast for today. Okay, another WhatsApp message. I really feel stressed today. We're starting our campaign for the 2026 elections as follows. Red t-shirts with bold print, vote us out. Yellow t-shirts with bold print, keep us out. All right, let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. We're trying to go through as many of your messages as possible. All right, somebody says there too many health/wellness centers are closed. People need help. They will flock to OKEU for care. And let's see there. We St. Lucians should really be ashamed of ourselves because of all the unpaid hospital bills over the years. We go to the hospital to give birth or get a procedure done, and we leave the hospital feeling better and walk away without paying our bill or disregarding the repercussions. And that was a WhatsApp message. Okay, another WhatsApp message. I hope Musa responds to the Prime Minister. We'll one day make it out in public. All right, another WhatsApp message. Soon we will know the career of the entire family of the Prime Minister. All right, another one. It reads there, Kamala is gonna win. WhatsApp message. All right, let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day. And who will win the U.S. presidential election and why? Our NewsSpin question of the day. Who will win the U.S. presidential election and why? Still to come, our NewsSpin news of the day. I don't know if we have any other comments, Amanda, to go through. Do we have any final comments from the chat room?
Tim, just a few.
Okay.
In the comment section, someone says, so you mean to tell me that Aaron Alexander was one of those who allowed the Prime Minister to purchase his character, integrity, intelligence, honesty, and being a good citizen? Another comment, caller, isn't that what the former PM has been saying? This country needs to be rebuilt. And hence why he brought the new St. Jude's Hospital to the people. All we had to do was continue with the plan the Chasney had for the healthcare, and by now we would have been very well on our way with proper healthcare in this country. Another comment, the Labours criticized Allen when they were in opposition about the healthcare system. Now they are crying with dry eyes. And in the comments, someone says, the reason why the Minister of Health can't sleep is because the CIP money is fighting with him in his sleep. There are many others that can't sleep, but they will not tell you, Mr. PM.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update, the final one regarding comments in the chat room. Finally from us, our NewsSpin news of the day. Italian Culture Minister apologizes to wife, Prime Minister and staff over affair scandal. Italian Culture Minister apologizes to wife, Prime Minister and staff over affair scandal. And here is the Italian Culture Minister, and he is speaking through an interpreter. We'll hear from him in just a moment as we're getting all set to conclude another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. Let me see if I have any WhatsApp message coming to hand. Somebody says there, the Prime Minister is truly a joker. Wow. Another person says, is Aaron Alexander speaking on behalf of the Labour Party government because ICA got some funds from them? Where are the genuine community activists who are neutral? This man says he's a community activist. Wow, shameless. Does he hear and feel the poor and underprivileged concerns sincerely, or cares about himself and his cannabis movement? So ready for that clip of the Italian minister speaking through an interpreter. Italian Culture Minister apologizes to wife, Prime Minister and staff over affair scandal.
In a tearful interview, Italy's culture minister Gennaro Sangiuliano confessed to having had an affair with influencer Maria Rosaria Boccia. He had also nominated her as his advisor for major events, which Boccia shared in a post on Instagram. He apologized to the government, his collaborators, and his wife, saying Boccia's nomination has since been revoked. He also expressed willingness to resign should it be sought by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni.
Italian culture minister speaking through an interpreter. Italian culture minister apologizes to wife, prime minister, and staff over affair scandal. That is the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.